Parang
Anyway,
from conceptual to mixing to mastering agad one day.
Ganon ba sila? Every day?
Huh. Hindi, I mean, yun na yung life kasi nila eh. Kasi musicians, most of musicians nowadays are content creators talaga. Because that's
Yeah.
the business model ng Spotify eh. Not really to create music na. So, they're doing it like YouTube. So, if I'm a music producer, whatever, in just one day, I'm gonna create a song or do this or a cover of that. And then one day, mastering agad, diretso na sa Spotify. Almost.
hey, welcome out to Bodega Nights. I'm Joao. Diba? Right over there is Greg. That's Ian, and down over there is Martin. I just decided to put all his long hair
Bald
dudes with
people
like
downstairs.
blue stuff.
Fine. So, yeah, this is part 2 of the Overmind episode. Well, what's it? Part 3, I guess.
Overmind episode.
I don't know.
Ian, this week we have Ian and Greg.
I don't
It's a
know.
takeover, and today is a music episode.
Yeah, dude, you got like
assistants in a white
Music nga ba?
Oo nga eh.
music, ba? Music. It's kind of fun.
Greg was
Before
mentioning-
recording, I
Let's
mentioned
find
to
a song.
Joao, like where Greg is. That's where we recorded like a few episodes of Jobber Talk. Oh my god! Okay, this is happening.
I don't know. It said like we write a song in one
One day. Hirap.
One video, one day.
Though they're all in the computer, so there's no live recording with voices most of the time.
Okay.
Wait, so hindi ko gets yun. So, gagawa sila ng kanta, tapos post nila sa Spotify.
Spotify agad, yeah.
Pero kailangan mabilis.
In a way kasi, ang idea, even the Spotify, mismo, CEO has said na if you want, sabi nila, if you want Spotify to work for you financially, like normal, is you have to keep on creating a lot of songs. Kasi parang may iba yung algorithm nila on something, like the more you put songs there, the higher the chances are doon ka mag-earn. So, trabaho na siya. Like, you really have to come up with song, and hopefully, one day, isa mag-hit doon. Pero in any case, kung consistent ka, kakalabas, eventually, you'll get there. Labanan kasi playlist eh. So,
yeah.
so it's very different. Very different from before, di ba?
And Chocolate Train. Or different na.
Yeah, like before we
Kasi
have
before,
music.
just get one viral YouTube content and you get money.
Yeah. Even before the 90s, iba. It's more of like if your heart fine all this the look, the get up, whatever, the marketing para maibenta ka. Pero originally it stems from I have a band or I am a musician, I have this sort of thing, I want songs, and then they try to make the branding, alam mo yun, after that, and hopefully you would sell. Ngayon hindi na ganun.
Pero what if ikaw, ang dami mong nga ginagawa, pero puro tae? Ganun pa rin. Like it can work for you pa rin.
I mean, look at Spotify. Most of them have the same sound. Nothing against it, pero due to the fact na alam mo rin yung nag-hit, kasi parang pag YouTube creator ka, you kinda know na what would hit eh. So you're following that. You're not really, I mean, they're still expressing, parang ganito, na in love sila sa producing of music itself. Not really, I don't wanna say, baka mukha ako elite na naman eh. Si Ian sinasabi, elitista ako sa music eh. Pero hindi naman. More of, like,
basta may favorite genre ka, elitista ka.
Hindi, parang may sort of, they have fun on creating the music itself. Not so much of like, shucks, I really like this song, whatever. Pero, na-enjoy nila yung pagiging producer na eh. Mas ganun na ngayon eh.
Gets.
Yeah.
It's the creation that is fun, and then, yun.
Hindi siya nagtutulong sa mundo, ano?
That's my point about Spotify, pero I'm not against it. It's more of I just don't like it the way because they keep pushing for
Thank God I got out of Spotify when I did. Before this shit.
Kasi naging audiophile si Ian eh.
Hindi naman.
Di ba? Hi-fi ka, ano di ba?
More, lang, like, listener.
Like vinyls and everything.
No.
And then,
like,
di ba?
I just don't, like, listen to lossy format.
Correct. Pag nagka-tidal, pare. Pag
So
nagka-tidal,
you're like one
kukuha
of
ko.
those like wave and like FLAC only people.
Yes,
Just
correct.
because I hear the difference.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, I hear the difference.
Well, in the music that you're listening din kasi, I doubt you're gonna hear the difference in hip-hop when it's all compressed and, I mean, all the same type.
Actually,
your
it
type of
sounds thinner on lossless format, hip-hop, surprisingly,
Exactly.
sounds
Still, no?
thinner.
Exactly.
Parang
That
mas...
makes sense.
Hindi siya mas puno. You know what sounds fuller on lossless? Interestingly, no, what sounds fuller are the divas, like sila
of course.
Pare.
That also makes sense.
That makes sense, pare. I mean, it makes sense,
Because there's more like
more range din kasi dynamic
right.
range. They have bigger dynamic range.
So
even orchestras,
I enjoy listening to Mariah Carey. Like I've had this thing with Mariah Carey for 2 weeks na na parang ang galing pala. Alam mo
pare.
And Christmas is coming up, so you have just the right position for
Christmas song ever.
Galing. Good job.
It's like Mariah Carey is like the American version of One, right? Like,
yeah. Agree.
Just one song, no? With just one song.
Yeah. Parang alam mo, weird na nakalimutan nila lahat yung memory ko ng Mariah Carey. When I was, di ba, the diva, the singing R&B, ganyan. Parang ngayon, it's that Christmas thing. Yeah. Mariah is that Christmas thing.
Pero I've been enjoying, like, and the rap songs don't sound as good on lossless. I don't know why. I don't know why. Pero
even the old ones?
Yeah, like, Cranberries, nawalan ako ng respeto pa.
Talaga?
For some reason, parang, oh my God, this is like normal stuff. Like, alam mo yun, this could have been done in the Philippines. Parang ganun yung
gets.
iniisip ko about it. Pero stuff like Michael Jackson, parang suddenly, ang galing pala. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
But then, like,
which Michael Jackson have you been listening to?
All of them.
The recent one? Oh, God.
Like,
Off the Wall,
I don't judge.
Off the Wall is the best.
Michael Jackson.
I like Off the Wall, and
it's the best mix for me. Off the Wall.
But then, like,
and that's like his first solo thing, leaving the Jackson 5.
Yeah, but I think what Greg was talking about was like the rock of like the 70s and the 60s, like
70s. Oh.
They are full.
Like that Phil Spector stuff.
Right.
Because it's a wall of sound I mean, alam mo yun? What they're trying to get is as much frequency, alam mo yun?
Spector. Like sino ba na kasi ganito, the Beatles, they sound incredible on lossless.
Yeah.
Like grabe talaga. Like okay, gets ko na bakit
Ba't siya nagustuhan?
Nakikilala nila yung drums nila, nakikilala nila yung gitara nila kasi they really sound pala distinct. Like the drums ni
it's possible you don't like much compression, I think.
Yeah,
but you could actually hear it. Yeah.
Audio compression.
Yeah. Ako not so much as hip-hop compression. I'm okay with that 90s, alam mo yun, tight thing. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure hindi siya katunog sa lossless na, alam mo yun, like open na open.
Hindi naman lahat
Hindi lahat, pero most likely ganito siya.
For the common man, what is this lossless? Can anyone explain? Yeah.
It's digital. It's a digital format that they say, no. Ako, I really think na if you make something digital from analog, you're losing something. I personally believe that. Pero the closest you come to not losing anything, I guess, are the lossless formats that are in digital, which is like FLAC or DSD or PAV and what's that other one? The Apple thing?
ISO?
Apple lossless?
Apple lossless, yeah.
AIF. Or
AIC.
Yeah, one of those things. It's the closest you could come to digital music that is closer to the original.
I don't want to say something is lost, but more of it's different.
Yeah.
Depende kasi on how they transferred it. Like, are you doing the digital based on the master itself or based on the CD reproduction turned into...
Right. Or even if are you attaching a mic to a speaker? Kasi may mga ganun din digital, di ba?
Yeah.
So, all these things. Pero all things being equal, no? Those things being equal. Relatively, malapit siya. This is another thing pala, I just realized. A lot of people pala, when they say what they understand about high fidelity is high definition. When the two things are actually different.
No. Audio
Hi-fi
fidelity
is
yung inaano nila eh. Like,
fidelity. That's how most people pala understand it. Na the fidelity means na the resolution or the definition is high.
Correct.
Which is the case most of the time. Pero they mean two distinct things. It's strange eh. It's
Though medyo ironic din yung in a way kung ano yung high fidelity. If we're just gonna go with the audio like actual signal ng sound. Because kasi kunwari, if I recorded in the 70s, kahit anong high def yan, hindi niya tatalunin yung high fidelity ng hip hop. Yeah.
Ngayon.
Yeah, correct.
I agree kasi technology.
Exactly. Pero at the same time, you will hate, parang most people will hate actual high fidelity audio because it's not warm. Alam mo yung parang
it's
60 frames sa sinehan?
Parang lata siya.
Exactly. Kasi rinig mo lahat eh.
Rinig mo lahat eh. Rinig mo yung as in ganito so classical, 'di ba? Na high fidelity music na lossless. Pare yung mga hinga, narinig mo. So, nadi-distract ka. Gets mo? Narinig mo eh. Na parang ano bang nagpo-float, pare?
Okay.
Ang distracting
Yung mga ganun. Correct.
Yung talagang rinig mo yung
problema lagi yan sa nakikita ko sa isang forums about audio cleanup na puntahan ko sa mga nagma-master. Yung RX lagi lang ginagamit sa oboe, yung mga reed type kasi gumaganon yung gamit nila, naririnig sa recording.
Yeah, you can hear the clicks of the
Yeah. May unwanted sound minsan coming from the mechanism.
Okay.
Wait, going back to what Martin was asking about. What is lossless?
Lossless.
When you translate sound into a digital format, if you take in everything, it can take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, what they can do is they can remove a lot of the stuff like the silences, right? And that is loss C because you are losing part of it.
Or conflicting sounds.
Yeah. Right?
Lossless is when everything that you hear and everything that you don't hear is included in the file.
Yeah. The
So
best
it is
example I have for
without
it
loss.
is the train. The train example. Imagine that you're recording a train passing by. Lossy, and you're talking while the train passes by. So lossy would be once the sound of the train over is louder than your voice, lossy format won't record your voice anymore.
Correct.
Whoa.
It will record the train. Just the train kasi it's loud. It overpowers the voice. Si lossless, ma-record niya pa rin pareho. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More of baka kasi isipin nila parang lossless is totally wala silang no. It's more of pinaliit lang nila yung file.
Yeah.
Kasi usually it's take what? A song like 200 MB for depende dun sa alam mo yun, pag nag-export ka, right? They just found a way to fake everything, di ba? They just found a way to fake it smaller yung size.
This is so weird because when Greg did that, I knew exactly what he meant.
Yeah. sa do, di ba? Like, track counts.
Oh man.
God.
So, God, when have we met, Greg? Because last I checked, I met you at hindi pa.
No, palali.
Wala pa dyan. Hindi pa Pilali, no?
Pero
una
yata kitang
Haig
pa pala. Nauna kitang na-meet sa UANP na.
Was that
When we
when...
were all playing StarCraft.
I think
Hey guys.
What?
No, that's Battlestar Galactica.
Close enough.
One of the, I guess, rock place. Na-meet muna kita doon sa school eh. Like, I was visiting there. Yeah, and then bumisita ka na bago sa Haig mismo. Si Joao sa Haig ko na-meet mismo eh.
Yeah.
StarCraft yan eh. Like, matalo. Hindi ko makalimutan yun eh. May one moment lang ako kay Joao. Namunti ka na ako manalo at yun lang yun. Hindi na naulit.
I remember trying to make the shit, right? The StarCraft Haig Invitational
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah. We tried that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was... Grabe yun. Na-miss ko yun.
Dude.
Grabe
Ay,
yun.
muntik ko lang natalo sa EG nun,
Oh?
Oo, pare.
I've been allowed to
Pero
stay
talo
over
pa rin ako.
I had this one game na hindi lang ako praktisado sa micro. Muntikan ko na makuha yung technique at Terran si Joao. Like, di ba nag-bunker ka, tapos nag-dragon rush ako. Nagkamali ako ng punta. That one game I felt the closest na parang may chances ako manalo kay Joao. After that, all games, wala talaga akong chance.
Bilis ni Joao
Oh, man. Hirap.
But then,
What does Joao use? Terran?
Anything, man.
Anything.
Anything?
Mapili niya.
It didn't matter.
I like Zerg though. Zerg was like my favorite race to play.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Speed, no? Speed talaga Zerg was, if you're a fast player talaga Zerg is,
Correct.
But
And plus,
I don't know.
Plus nung dinala ni Daily, yung dinala ni Daily iba. Sabi ko, racial upgrade talaga yun.
I mean, that was
Korean
that was like, okay, once Daily starts coming in, we're like, okay, that's it. We're just gonna step back now.
Actually, si Day, parang inaasar ko pa siya nung dinala niya yung, I forgot kung sino Korean friend niya yun talaga na nagbakasyon. Yun, medyo malayo, kaya sabi ko, Day, Pinoy ka talaga, no? Yung isa pare, as in,
wala yun. Tapos yun. Yung apat kayo, di ba?
Kasama yata si JP. Imagine mo yung Zergling, pinatay yung Zergling ng, ano nga ba yun? I forgot ko anong ginawa niya eh. Anong weakness ng siege tank? Zergling, right?
Yeah.
Kill niya lahat ng kabaligtaran na dapat matatalo ka. Nananalo siya. Like, kunwari nakita kong dropship yung paisa-isa lang siya dun sa siege tank. Bagsak siege mode na agad. Angat. Bagsak siege mode na agad.
Oh yeah. Like
Holy crap.
Like those micro tricks.
Oh, parang okay, hindi ko alam paano mo ginagawa.
Yun yung mga it comes with kind of being part of Korea. Like,
Sabi ko, racial upgrade nga eh.
Immersing yourself in Korean culture in the same way that every Filipino is probably better at like billiards.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Like, just being part of the Philippines.
That's true, yeah.
Somehow gives you that cultural advantage. So I don't
Oo
know.
nga eh.
Is that plus buff in stats or certain stats?
Hindi, mas mabilis talaga yung daliri lang nila.
Yeah,
They know how to react.
Practice naman yan, di ba?
Yeah.
I mean, much more of the daliri, the reaction time eh. They're just fast.
It was really weird, right? Because I remember hearing a story like Day bought pre-ordered StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then didn't
bring it
remember
up to
actually
us.
pre-ordering it.
Kasi dahil Korean siya.
Korean na pala.
He just like went up and was like, guys, I have a copy of StarCraft 2. Apparently I pre-ordered it, but I don't ever remember pre-ordering it. And we were like, it's built into your genes, huh? Like,
We played last month, naglaro kami ni Day ulit eh. Pero 2 na. Ako, kinakapa ko.
StarCraft
We're just
2.
playing, We're just
Or
playing.
ninyo, men. Sabi ko sa inyo, Genshin Impact pa. Si Martin, yung...
Genshin Impact.
Si Martin.
Oh my God. It's
Laro-
crazy.
Hey, leave my waifus alone. Wow, someone told him it's
man.
hey man, you got the memo.
You got the memo.
Yeah, it's Black T-shirt Day.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Every day is Black T-shirt Day on the podcast. So
Black
Correct.
Sunday.
May kilala ko ba Joao dyan na may LED sa likod para balanse?
Oh no.
Ay,
Norm
oo,
has
si
something
Norm.
special. He has a superpower with the zoom. He blends in the background.
That was insane. That's still crazy.
I know. So yeah, Ian, have you
Is that
played
you-
Genshin
this
yet?
is gonna be the kind
Yeah,
of-
man.
I'm gonna go
I've
ahead
been
and
playing.
Alam mo na ingit ako doon. Gusto ko maglaro.
I stopped though recently. I didn't, nakukulangan na ako sa time.
Correct.
I've never
I think that's
experienced
what it
this, I was talking to Laila the other day. Na parang,
Hindi ka naglalaro, no?
oo, parang, sabi ko, busy na ata talaga.
Busy na.
Ngayon ba siya experience buong buhay ko? Alam mo yun?
I think I'm gonna be like that
akin
soon. I'm scared.
Is this what being busy feels like? I hate it. Parang,
In fairness, Ian, kung ano yung ginawa mo sa Overmind when you led it, it's the first time na na-experience ng lahat na, alam mo yung productive na busy. Ganito pala yun. Kasi even my girlfriend is asking me like, may parang, ang dami mo ginagawa ngayon Tapos sabi ko usually kasi marami akong ginagawa. Alam mo yun, hindi naman talaga. Pero ngayon parang, oo nga, honestly, I'm working.
Tapos you don't even think about it, diba?
You don't even think
You're just thinking about the next, parang you're thinking about the limit to it lang, na when you get to rest.
Correct,
diba?
exactly.
Kailan pa tumatapos, parang gano'n.
In fairness, alam nyo naman yung buhay namin sa Overmind, diba? So,
yeah.
Very hectic production schedules, diba? And
Hindi. It's running the business itself. And alam mo yun, lalo na ngayong COVID, ang daming kailangan gawin.
Actually, one of the industries that kind of took off because of the pandemic, diba? Like the people in the gig economy have been been really killing it.
Yep, actually. People in the gig economy.
And they were agile enough to shift.
Exactly.
I think it's what found this whole pandemic thing so hard are the unmovable mountains of companies na ang hirap sa kanila to.
Yeah. I mean, the freelancers are just
agility is the name of the game.
Yeah. You just have to change Like, yan na ba yung bago? Okay, I do that. In a company, paano mo gagawin yun?
Actually,
you have to change the whole process and all.
Like in a bank. Imagine a bank.
So now they have to do online banking.
Even
it's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh
my God.
It's tough.
Napansin nyo maraming food service ngayon bigla, di ba? Na lumilitaw kahit sa Grab food sa amin dito sa Philippines. Daming bago. Before the restaurants sa mga kilala, natagalan sila mag-change. Etong mga wala namang experience,
they're forced to.
They just, hindi, luluto ako, meron akong ito, naisip ko, gawin ko na agad.
Yeah, and they're making so much money.
Yeah.
Like here sa condo, pare. Yung mga tenants lang, sila lang nagbebentahan.
Pero okay na.
Sila lang sa loob ng condo. Sila lang yan. May group sila at nagbebentahan sila sa
ecosystem.
Actually.
Pero sa economy, market talaga siya kasi consistent, constant, and
galing.
I would say
actually, I've heard of some condo units doing the barter system, not to the extent the economy developing that way.
No.
Like, they don't even need to trade cash anymore. They agree on a value of their goods.
Sobrang
pagkain, diba? Pagkain.
Ito kasarola ko. Pahingi naman ng nilaga.
Ilang pansit canton para sa sinigang?
I'm now selling my services nga for food here sa condo.
Nice.
Kung kailangan mo ng clothesline, diba? Touch ako ng clothesline, that's diba? Or
that'll be 2 pansit canton.
Kalyos. Hindi, kalyos naman, pare. Mahirap naman mag-drill. Kalyos naman. Bulalo, di ba? Mga ganun naman.
Si Ian nga pala, ano nga pa siya magluto. Yeah, correct. Yun.
So now Ian is having tea.
Yeah.
Tea. So speaking of beverages, there's a recent ad for like this RC Cola thing, and it reminded me of the early day Ex Machina films you guys been doing. So
in fair, Martin, gusto ko yun.
Here we are contributing to the RC Cola conversation.
That was a good transition, Martin.
Sobrang ganda na niya.
Transition. I haven't seen the ad.
Smooth.
Oh, really?
Depende ko anong gusto mong tanungin. May iba ako ng point of view sa RC. Depende ko anong part. Okay. Like, are we talking about the content itself or what the agency did?
What the effery of it all. Because, yun nga naalala ko lang yung mga early works niyo as the Ex Machina before it became Overmind.
Yeah.
Walang sense.
It's a heart back to that. Yeah, di mga nonsense na.
I'm pretty sure everyone is overreacting about it. Yun yung una sa akin. I'm not aware.
Well, I don't know what it is. And
I don't know what it is either. So.
I don't feel the need to watch it.
Ganito, visually, so the content itself, for me alam mo yun yung sinasabi natin minsan may mga may beautiful like kay Miyazaki, di ba? Remember that time na pinakitaan siya ng grotesque na animation of something like in human form, di ba? So even monsters, there's yung pagiging pangit ng monsters, there's kung visual arts, may beauty dapat doon I think dahil with this one, it's not there. Kahit surreal pa siya. Pan's Labyrinth looks beautiful, even the monsters. This one, like technical visual.
So may monsters to? May monsters yung
Hindi naman, pero I could say something like that. Close to that.
That would have been a good commercial.
Yeah. Like yung head.
Like a Pacific Rim.
So to me,
Kaiju levels.
It's like RC Cola.
Correct. Ang pangit, parang hindi lang siya maganda sa it feels offensive visually. So inherent sa kanya na ayaw. Kunwari, imagine mo yung size ng itong ulo ko, putulin mo, lagyan mo ng RC Cola na bote.
RC Cola.
Gets ko yan
Nagigets mo I'm not talking about ugly monster. I'm talking about
like there's something wrong.
Exactly.
Yes.
So arts, yung beauty, wala. So I get it na ang initial reaction na lahat ay offend. So hindi ako sure kung ang nagsistem yung lahat ng may bago kasi mga topic ngayon like insensitive siya, whatever. My gut feel is it started out it's being offensive visually and then nag-rationalize sila why it is offensive. And then suddenly they saw the things this and that na naging social issue na siya. For me,
daming panahon ng mga tao, no?
Exactly.
Actually, if there's anything that I realized, daming panahon ng mga tao, man.
Oo.
Grabe. Tapos grabe, it's incredible the complaints, no? What people find to complain about.
Yeah.
It's so eye-opener. So I must be right.
This is why we need like 4-hour commute times. That way people
exactly. So they can have time to complain about this.
Now we don't have it.
It's incredible.
I don't know. Complain out of the blue.
I've pretty much stopped going on Facebook for more than like 20 minutes a day. Like once I hit 20 minutes of Facebook, I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm here for a little too long.
Wala na. Like wala na. I only go to it for the market and to share stuff from Overmind.
Yeah.
The Facebook marketplace. Is that,
Ako din. The marketplace. But then like the wall.
Marketplace is good.
Yeah,
like my wall has just become like, what is this? What is this? Why are you talking about?
We're old, man.
Why do you guys have so much time? You know, like I don't know.
And I've heard those arguments, but like 10 years ago from other people.
From people
older than us.
Yeah.
Surprise! 10 years later, it's you. It's an age thing, apparently.
We're like the old people yelling at the cloud. Like,
though not everything about this era is an age thing. Well,
what do you mean, like?
Di ba? For example, isang meron akong pinanood one time about pointing out yung music. Like, siyempre, parang as a music maker, sometimes you think about is it my taste for it is just I personally, kunwari, sabihin ko 90s gusto ko yung music na yon more than anything. Is it because I'm just old, di ba? So, tas may pinoint out yung isang guy na sa music industry, no? If you look at about the greatest hits, like yung one after the other na album, they can't surpass the 90s. It's one after the other. So, like, numbers-wise, it's true that it is better music. Alam mo yun, like the greatest hits, like concept album, one after the other, compared to the 2000 and the next. Like legendary albums, like after lumabas si Nirvana, lumabas alam mo yun, so, this kind of albums na sunod-sunod.
Alright,
like,
so like
award-winning stuff, maraming nangyari, nagsabay-sabay sila sa 90s.
So like the idea is we don't have albums like for me, I can listen to Oasis is What's the Story Morning Glory from
those
beginning
things
to end without like
I agree.
Yeah.
So he pointed out na though totoo naman na nalulumaan na lang tayo, pero you have to take in hindi hindi dahil matanda ka lang kaya nasasabi ng iba na 90s music is better. There's a claim talaga to it. How 70s would claim yung ano nila, yung recording nila is better.
Feels
better.
Audio quality.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna argue based on the medium.
Oh,
Okay.
Because we couldn't skip songs in the 90s. We had cassettes.
posible din yan. Walang singles na lahat ngayon, no?
Ito yung cassette ko, pare, kaya mag-skip ng song.
Yeah.
Ito yung Walkman ko, may Walkman ako.
It would detect the silence, di ba?
Yes.
It would detect silence. But then it wasn't like, oh yeah, we can just skip this song, right? We can just skip this song.
Our generation is showing.
Nothing became like skippable.
So, actually, pwede yan. To the credit now, lahat single. So, there's no great album. Diba?
Yeah. I mean, you were talking about this with
internet.
Like Spotify now seems to reward singles over albums. Like you drop an album, like okay, whatever. But if you drop like a single once a week, every week, like
actually,
that will perform much better.
Actually, yung mas binibigyan nila ng thing, well, ang pangit kasi pakinggan eh. Pero hindi not dissing it. Pero if your music could be a white noise, that's better.
Actually, there was that dude that
nobody actually listened to it. Yeah, because the point is, while I'm working, I can listen to it. Like, I don't really have to think about it. Then it feels good.
Di ba nakakatok yung white noise?
Hindi, but ang point is, like, alam mo, hindi ko siya kailangan isipin.
Is that like...
Actually, I wanted to talk about it then yung the purpose of making music has changed. Because the audience requirement, parang ganon.
Yeah.
The requirement has changed. Like, you could say that people listened to music before, and now you could argue that the difference is now you're just bopping along to the rhythm.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's why hip hop is the new rock.
Well, there's
makes sense.
Hip hop.
Steady beat.
Simple. We no longer listen to music. We hear music.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how it is. So, you're gonna hit more pag ganun yung music mo. Kaya mahalaga lang dyan may one word eh. Like,
can we say that this audiophile subculture is a counterculture?
Yeah. It's an OA counterculture.
Yeah, it's an OA counterculture. Pero all countercultures are OA.
It's necessary. Yeah. Pero it's necessary.
Super OA ng punk. Grabe lang.
Pero it's necessary kasi...
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. We were all at one time.
I mean, black t-shirts are still a thing. So.
Yeah.
I want to feel so sad and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's necessary kasi I think they're the ones who still listens eh.
Yeah. If that's the point, the culture
diba parang, kasi diba you can say na
go there.
Oh, and then there was the point where music had a stronger message before, and now it's more about the catchy tunes and whatever you can put together in one phrase now.
Yeah. But
ako, I find
not to say na wala ng substance ang more songs now. It's just we reward the catchy beat more.
Oh. I still find current songs that are quite powerful in message and
merong mga ganon, yeah.
It's just that the stuff they're reacting to is quite different from
that's true.
The other songs. I mean, Bob Dylan was so lucky that there was a war. You know what I mean? There was no war. I mean, I don't know what he would have sung about, like probably flowers in porches, or something.
Right? I guess sabagay that 80s guys are saying the 90s has no substance because of the lyrics they're singing.
What? But we were singing against, like corporate culture.
90s is talking about closing. Alam mo yun? Closing time.
How we love to drink, right?
Exactly.
That song was about his son or something, right?
Yeah. Or yung
Glycerin, what was it about? I really don't.
Glycerin, I don't know. Good song though.
They're good songs.
Although there is also that argument that that a lot of the greatest music of all time wasn't great in its time, right? Like the Beatles. The Beatles were kind of lucky that they were extremely popular and at the same time had some of the most amazing music ever. But I don't know, like Pink Floyd wasn't
Ahead of its
you know
time, si Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it was a
But I
like
think
Iggy Pops and all of that stuff. Like
I
all
think
of the
those are
most
the rule.
amazing.
Those are the exceptions rather than the rule.
For me. And this is not the case for Pachelbel's Canon.
Yeah. The guy was famous. So with Puccini and all these other guys. I mean, they were big.
Right?
Yeah. But then I don't know. There is that though. That like if you look at the Billboard charts going back, apparently you have a lot of stuff that you're like.
Right.
Queen.
Where is this?
Diba?
Well, bakit you just still appreciate them? Hindi kaya? Or are they still applicable today? Parang ganon. Hindi kaya.
Wait,
I think kasi possible that the great
song.
Diba?
Possible kasing the great songs are ahead of its time madalas eh.
Or just, timeless.
Timeless, yeah.
Diba? Timeless.
Pwede timeless lang talaga.
But what I can say about music now is that I'm sure there is a lot of amazing music out there, and there is a lot of amazing music out there. It's just that there is a lot more noise as well.
Yeah,
of course.
More
because everybody can create and release.
Yeah, democratize art.
Yeah, that's
which is good also.
See, nobody believes me. You know, when these people talk about ano ba nangyari na to sa music natin, or ano ba to nangyari sa films natin, ano ba nangyari sa art natin, and I keep telling them, your real problem is democracy. That's the real problem. It's not na people started to suck. No! It's just that the common man now has a voice. It's just that simple. Before they did it, you had to have the uncommon man. Kasi it took a lot of value to create something.
Yeah.
And now anybody can do it.
Sa akin, it's okay. Like na democratize siya, like the more people are doing music, I guess mas marami din yung pangit, pero with that mas marami ding posibleng gumaling.
Chances for something great. Oh, tama.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's how I see it.
Well, the problem is algorithm.
So for me, it's a question of how much do you love democracy.
My problem with it, no. Wait. Music-wise, my problem is when a company like Spotify kinda legitimize kung ano maganda.
That's what I was.
That's the problem. Not so much. Imagine a lot of
democracy. It is an autocracy that is run by Google and Spotify.
Yeah.
These are companies that flourish in what sort of market? A capital market. And guess what sort of government or political structure has capital markets?
Pero for example, at some point kasi I think for example, though naniniwala naman ako, pero when you incentivize something more than the other, like for example, yun nga, like Spotify or Google, depende sa Google.
I'm talking the YouTube algorithm, because the YouTube algorithm also plays quite a bit in making.
Yeah. But they're correcting it now eh. I'm starting to see in YouTube eh. So Spotify, I don't think they have plans. Like they're really influencing. Yun yung difference ko eh. They're really influencing and saying na ito yung great. Like fine, maraming ang pangit, 'di ba dapat marami lalabas maganda. Kasi yung lumalabas ng magaganda na yon, here comes the guy saying, hindi, ito talaga actually mas maganda. From the pangit. So
yeah.
Ayun yung problem mo doon.
It's still I mean, it's still gatekeeping.
Yeah.
It's gatekeeping.
Sure.
It's just our gatekeepers nowadays aren't artists. Our gatekeepers nowadays are run by math.
Yeah.
Our platforms.
Which is, I'd rather have an actual man doing it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
like,
instead of like a black box.
Suddenly, Sony is okay for me. Like those producers, EMI, I think they're better than math. Tanggap ko pa yung tao eh. They're willing to bet eh.
Wait, Norm wanted to say something eh.
Go Norm.
No, I kind of lost it after I took my drink. Pero I mean,
oh no!
What was that? You can't say the algorithm is there to exploit something that isn't there. Eh. Kasi parang
the algorithm is built because there was something already there.
The algorithm is built to keep you on the platform. So parang to maximize what is what the mainstream actually likes. Yeah. So you can't say na the algorithm is evil inherently.
No.
It's just
problem is the
giving you
mainstream.
more
diba?
of what you want.
Mainstream likes.
Oh. ang nagiging challenge ni Greg, I believe, is the discoverability feels off, which is wala tayong magagawa because it's at any level it's going to be curated. It's either curated by an algorithm.
I just
There's
think
just too much. If there were not enough people doing it, like a few amount of people, they wouldn't have needed that algorithm. So there's just so many, you know.
I just think talaga, I just think kasi music is more of hindi ko ma-describe like inherently if it's an art form, no, meron ka talagang objective on things of maganda, whatever. Pero once you started making it like you're selling sari-sari store, nagigit mo?
Pero
I'm okay with that.
Pero
yun lang, mahirap lang pag masyado yung mas marami yung sari-sari store.
I agree with you, Greg. Pero what is this impact? What is the impact with you personally? Because, you know, there is Spotify and has algorithms and all these things.
To me, I'm okay. Parang if you ask me kung do I want them to go down, no. I think it helps. It's okay for me. Parang kung ako lang, if I have preference, I would have wanted na mas balance. Parang akin lang yon. I'm not saying mali kayo lahat sa Spotify. Actually, baliktad. To me, then work around the system. That's actually my stand for. No. Pero kung tatanungin mo ako anong preference ko, I would have liked if it's not so much
curated.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is all kind of moot and academic because Spotify is starting to go all in on podcasts and saying screw the musicians, right?
That's so strange, no?
Yeah,
I think because of YouTube.
That's literally why we're doing this, diba? Because Spotify is going head on podcasts, and you know, guys, we have Spotify. Subscribe, and we also have our YouTube.
We're just playing by the rules.
We're just playing by the rules. I'm okay with that actually. In that sense, I'm okay with that.
Well, anyway, I think people should really stop looking at it that way. Na, you know, like everything has gone down. Everything.
No. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people should really stop looking at it that way. Na mas maganda yung dati, or kasi there are so many reasons why the things now are the things they are.
Yeah.
And a lot of those reasons are why we can do what we are doing right now as well. You know, so it's a double-edged sword is what I'm saying. And I guess
there's a thought. There's a thought na there was we make fun of the old guy that says this is new, this is different. I want it the way I used to know it. Diba? And we may be treading dangerously on that regard na parang I liked the way I remember stuff before, pero that's also tinged with nostalgia, so that we may be remembering things now. It was better way back when the DJs were pumping out good shit.
That dapat iwasan yun. Ako I'm on the gitna. Dapat iwasan mo yung
Actually that's why I always bring up the democracy argument to really see.
That's part.
You know, to really see, okay, do you love democracy that much? Diba? Kasi I'm taking something you think is good, democracy, and putting it at odds with something you think is wrong, which is the whole music, whatever, art, whatever, diba?
Yeah, correct.
Diba? And I'm trying to see, sige nga, like, prove to me na you really believe, diba? You really something you really care about, right?
Well, sa akin, mas better na
I'd rather democracy and crappy music. There's something else, you know what I mean?
Me too. Okay na rin. Kumbaga, you just have to... Alam mo yung point nila sa film critics na it's a necessary evil. Kailangan mo ng ganon. Kahit bullshit nila minsan. Ganon lang yung tingin ko. Na, kailangan mo lang talaga yun.
Yeah, that it happens. And now you can actually
I guess
find stuff if you just work for it.
Yeah, I agree. Agree ako dun. We can agree with that.
And as time will tell you, the good stuff will always find its way to the surface. It only takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And discoverability.
I'm not sure about that though.
That
specifically.
I believe
the good stuff. The good
stuff will find its way to the surface.
The good stuff won't find its way to the surface. The good stuff is something that you have to look for.
Yeah. I would also agree.
Yeah.
Which is a few people.
You know, this is so hard. Because on the one hand, you have the element of time. And the other, you have effort.
Because I mean, at some point,
yeah,
fanboy over this song.
Given an infinite timeline, all good should rise to the top.
Eventually,
at some point.
But then, going back to your thing about democracy, because there is so much more to fight through.
Right. That's why I think it's going to end, man. That whole democracy thing. I think it's reaching its death soon. And I hope I see it in my lifetime.
Actually, see, the Apple was the beginning of the death of the democratization of art when they released the tablet, because they've made a distinction between a machine for consuming media and a machine for creating media.
Mm-hmm.
So the computer was meant to be the thing that you create media with, and the tablet was the thing that you consume media with.
Wait. What did you mean by the death of democracy?
Basically, it was, if you want to play ball with, creating a really high quality video, you're not going to get that on an iPad. You're going to get that on your Mac.
A laptop. Yeah.
Right? And so when Apple introduced the class of device called the tablet, they were saying that this is what you use if you just want to sit down and read a book.
Pero I find it, strange, because for me, in many ways, Apple actually democratized art.
Because of the prosumer thing, no?
Yeah.
The prosumer, I agree.
I mean, before Apple, Logic, imagine what you had to do to make a song.
Actually, in the garage, some music, garage band.
Garage band, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was something.
Which led to you and me, Joao. That garage band led you.
Kaya di ba garage band? I started in garage band also.
Pero yun, it was it was I would like to think them sort of trying to separate those two.
I agree, but I don't think that's a death of democratization. I think that's an additional separation lang, which I think, in music kasi, there is one separation that happened that nobody talks about, which Western culture is responsible for, or any sort of culture. It was when they separated the performers from the listeners.
That's true.
There didn't used to be any difference between the two.
Yeah.
Just look at...
I agree.
The tribes before, actually, there were performers and listeners. I mean, they took part in the music, creation of the music, and they also were the ones listening to it. Correct. There wasn't any performer audience sort of separation.
Yes.
And culture is largely responsible for that. Kaya I think in my head that's more similar to tama ka, yung iPad and the MacBook. If you want to be like a performer or you want to be an audience, diba?
Correct.
Parang ganun.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well, we know most of them not really want to be a musician, but a content creator.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's all moot now though, because of the iPad Pro.
Yeah, because everything can be done.
It is all eventually.
But their new computers are iPad.
Essentially,
M1.
They're
M1.
Yeah,
they have
I don't.
You kind of have to
like
choose.
The touch screen thing. I really don't like the touch screen thing.
You
know, like where you can touch
now. Because I mean, the iPads cost the same as a computer.
Yeah, so pointless, diba? I had this classmate.
You have to choose.
I had this classmate in law school. So yung naka-MacBook Air ako noon, diba? So in my classes, and the guy beside me started the year at buying a iPad. And then over time, he started adding stuff to it, like the keyboards and the mouse and all these things.
MacBook
And
Air.
then I finally asked, magkano na ginastos mo sa ganun pa? And when he told me the price,
Slowly turning it into a computer.
Parang MacBook Air na rin yung presyo. So sabi ko,
may bag ka with the keyboard, mouse.
Diba? Tapos yung high-end stuff, the branded stuff. Like for the keyboard. Those things are expensive.
cheap.
Yeah, they are cheap.
I mean, Mac na lang, peripherals na lang nila mahal eh.
Diba? Exactly. And the mouse, My God.
I mean, it's democracy in the sense that there's more options, sure.
Options are okay. I mean, pero it comes with it na mas marami kang irereklamo. Pero it's okay.
I think the problem with like democratization of everything is that
Grabe doon tayo napunta, no?
Join me.
No. This is the thing. The problem with it is there is more work that needs to be done.
That's true.
Because with all of I personally like that a lot more, no? Where you have an entire range of choices and you get to, sit down and do your research and be all like, yeah, this thing kind of sucks. This thing is kind of awesome. And to be able to make that decision for yourself. Yeah. But not everybody has the time to sit down and do the research on the different like video cards that are available.
That's true.
Can't decide? There's an option for that as well.
Yeah.
There is.
Can't decide. Ito yung option.
Well, I would say I'm one of those people. I don't have any desire to research video cards. It's just not, I have no desire for that at all. I don't know why.
Yeah, but
I research headphones and stuff like that, mics, but video cards.
Yeah, yun. And it ended up that you got what? You got one of the best like condenser mics at the price point.
Yeah, for its time. Time. Yeah.
Correct.
It's time.
I guess pwede mo sabihin the thing with medyo pangit pakinggan yung democratization niya, no? Parang may calling ng mga tamad mag-isip.
Yun, 'di ba? Para siyang sociologically bawal. Parang sinabi sa atin ng society na anything other than a democracy is wrong. Diba? Parang ganun. And I think that's tricky.
Pero I guess
that's tricky. That's a tricky judgment call for society.
I like democracy, but I just think maraming tao hindi nila alam kung ba't nila gusto. Ako, I like that thing like this.
Wait, since we're going into like a more evil sort of topic, let's go.
Ganda.
This isn't evil. That's my whole point. Like, I know. Obviously, all of us think it's evil, diba?
Yeah, but I like this.
And why? Why do we think that? Why ba? What's wrong with it? I mean, really, I've asked myself the question kasi in an autocratic government, presumably run well, the generation of value is more focused and it's greater per unit of time.
Yeah.
Imagine that, You know what I mean? So I get like it's so scary and stuff like that. Pero it doesn't mean that we should not think about it.
I think it has more to do with control. Ako, probably. I'd rather do something that sucks rather than someone gave me something good.
Yun nga eh. Kasi that's what we're thinking about. That's what we think of. Na we think na autocracy is about somebody else controlling our choices, diba? But what if it wasn't control? What if it was direction?
But then what
if I don't like the direction?
Then you just don't participate. That's simple.
Pwede ka bang hindi mag-participate?
Yeah, that's the thing eh. In an autocracy, you cannot participate. In a democracy, the entire system is based on you participating.
Yeah. The thing is, autocracy is amazing if you have a good autocrat.
See, that's the root of the problem there. The fear that we will choose the wrong person.
Correct.
It's really the trust in the masses. Which is ironic when you think about it, no? We do not trust anybody to decide how to make that choice. Yeah. But for some strange reason, we trust everyone to vote. Yeah. And a good leader will come of it. I've never heard a stupider idea. Honestly, when I think about it, okay, let's go in this in terms of intelligence. We all know that when you get all the people, right? When you look at the intelligence quotient, I mean, your mean or the greatest number of people won't be at that 100 and above. Right? They won't be there. They're not gonna be there. It's impossible. It just
statistically average goes down lower and
lower. Exactly. And that's the exact same average voting, or will win the vote.
So what we're So what we're and I wouldn't be opposed to this. I wouldn't be opposed to this. What we're looking at is having a system if we want to have like we're looking at a system where we weigh votes differently based on things like intelligence, educational attainment, things like that.
Well, if you're gonna lead, diba? Sana naman yung, you know what I mean? Or if you're gonna choose,
it sounds like
the
what
choice
we're trying to put together
as an oligarchy, diba?
I'm looking at it ganito. Yung sinasabi mo, like, if I gotta go with the art, no, parang I'm just, personally, hindi lang ako, I don't think okay sa akin, like, you're gonna put all the best musicians, I mean, deciding what are the good music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yun nga eh.
I think I need the ugly parts eh.
No, for me, I'd rather the best musicians decide.
Hindi, yun nga. For me,
rather than, that bell curve thing.
Yeah, pero I think kasi because let me decide kung tama sila. I'd rather want that.
You can always naman decide. That's my whole point. They can recommend. I'd rather the people, that's what Spotify does. It doesn't really tell you, if you don't listen to this, you'll die. Diba? You're not forced to listen to anything. They recommend. And I'd rather the best musicians recommend rather than this bell curve thing they have going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like the mass.
I'm not, hindi lang ako dun sure, no? Because a lot of times, kunwari, if I'm learning something from music, no? A lot of music, kunwari, recently in etong COVID, a lot of music that I hated before that I know are pangit. I'm kind of seeing things that I could get from them eh. Now.
Okay. No, that's
so,
fine.
Gets mo, parang
yeah.
naniniwala ako na the pangit and the good has to be there at the same time.
No, the pangit will always be there. That's why there are recommendations. And the recommendations by its very nature are based on a scoring system, on a sort of curation that happens. That's why it's actually curation.
I'm not sure kasi if it's gonna be a recommendation or it's gonna be like banning things like, okay, you cannot do these things.
Do they ban ba? Like this particular music, you cannot find it in Spotify?
No.
Hindi naman. Pero don't do that. It's all curation.
Correct. Pero I don't think sa something like one person deciding things, if you're gonna go with government, like
maybe example, not a person. Let's say
like for example PRC. I don't like how they make rules.
So Ian is advocating for a military junta.
No, I am not. Actually, I'm just saying. I think we should revisit all the old arguments. I don't think they work anymore.
We should. I agree. I agree.
I don't think they work anymore, and we should revisit them, and we should throw out all our prejudice. Or this social prejudice that we have that society tells us is bad and good.
I think
we should throw those out.
Ian, I think what I'm saying is what I like about this democracy kasama yung pangit niya is we can actually do what you say na revisit. I imagine if we are in People's Republic of China, there are things that you cannot talk about.
No, I agree. Pero I don't think
that's what I don't like. I like this. Now we can say and question it again.
Right,
democracy itself. That's what I like about democracy. We can question it.
But there are other autocratic states naman that run things better.
Singapore. Pwede din.
Than China. I mean, China naman, grabe.
I mean, yung talaga example ko, no?
I mean, go Russia to pick China, di ba? Parang, alam mo yan.
I mean, no, the feather in the cap of autocracy is Singapore.
Right, yeah. It's an autocratic state. There's a president elected. Officials are elected. Pero they don't deal with the bullshit. There's no sort of, less bullshit around. Yeah. But it's autocratic, definitely.
It's
possible kaya siya dahil maliit. Well, hindi ko pa, I've never...
That's what they're saying.
That's
what they're saying.
Possible kaya dahil maliit. Okay.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. They also have that same argument for that state where it's a principality, Monaco.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that works really well. That's actually still a principality. It's a monarchy, autocratic. The government also, the king or the prince owns all the land. It's run really well.
The prince, the sea
for Brunei for some time as well.
Brunei for some time.
Yeah. I guess we're really meant na dapat hindi.
But then the price of oil just dropped. So
Dubai is run well. Dubai, I mean the United UAE.
The Emirates.
Yeah, they run well. So, and these are all kingdoms, technically.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The UAE is Principate. I'm not sure, no? Martin Poleco. I mean, ang tagal ko na hindi ng Poleco. Pero parang ganun eh.
Yeah. Like, it's been 10 years since I actually gave a crap about Poleco stuff. Sorry, guys.